Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Aryantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Savanam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Shaiva Omkaraya Namo Namo Namah Samai Saraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chitsabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavan Tarachide Ananta Ananta Bhava Bedati Bareli Bali Ananta Ananta Naya Nikshate Vyakhani Che Sakala Jagata Hita Karini Harini Mohatarini Bhavabdi Moksha Charini Pramani Che उपमा आप्यानि जन तमारा खविते व्यर्थ अपवती निज मति मपाई में मानी छे अहोराज चंद्र बाल ख्याल नथी पामताए जिनेश्वर तणी वाणी जानी तेने जानी छे गुरुराज तणी वाणी जानी तेने जानी छे ओम नमः शिवाय Om Siddhyo Om Sri Sudatmane Namaha. Jai Girendra. Today is May 4th, 2020, Monday, and we are continuing our class on Atmasiddhi Shastra. So, where we are, we know that Atmasiddhi Shastra was written by Srimadji. He wrote down this thing in 1.5 hour time without lifting his pen practically. He wrote down in one of the evening. You mean that's it? 1.5 hour and everything is done? Well, yes and no, because he wrote down for 1.5 hour time, but the contemplation about the nature of the soul, etc., is going in his mind for time, long time. As we said last time, that Kripaludev was present in Mahavir Swami's Samosaram. So at least 2500 years back, we know that his quest for looking for the soul has started. Quest for looking for super sensuous bliss had started at the time. So this kind of thing is not happening overnight. Yes, it did happen in 1.5 hour time, but if we think about it, it is going on and on and on in the soul's psyche, soul's nature for a long time. And the right time came, the appropriate time came, and whole thing came on a piece of paper. From his mind, it just came out. From his soul, it just came out. So it's just like if you're the darkness for infinite times, you can remove the darkness in one fraction of a second just by putting the matchstick on. Similarly, the intense darkness of ignorance just came out in a fraction of a second by this grand knowledge that he had it. Plus, at the same time, his poetic capacity, his expression of the knowledge was extraordinary, so much intense that he wrote down everything is extreme, simple words. If you read the whole Atmasiddhi, there is not a single word that you may say that this is really difficult for me to understand. In a simple language, but he put an intense amount of inclinations in those simple words. And we are trying to analyze, we are trying to read his mind, that what he wanted us to understand. He knew that 100 years down the road, 150 years down the road, people will have increased inquisitiveness. And I'm just going to write down because I don't have time to expand all these things. He had a short life. So in that short life, he just gave essence of the whole thing. He just gave the butter. But for the butter to occur, you need to have a yogurt, you need to have a chaas, you need to have a milk, and all those things. So he said, it's your problem to understand or not to understand. I'm just simply leaving this information. Dipchandji Kasliwal was a very good writer. Few hundred years back, I don't know exactly how many years back, but he had an intense amount of knowledge, but there was nobody to listen to him. And around when he's looking at it, people are blinded with ritualistic society, not knowing why they are doing that ritual. So he says, nobody wants to listen, nobody understands, and everywhere people are blinded. I'm just simply writing this one. Maybe in future somebody will be interested and they will learn about it. Similarly, Kripaludev, Srimad Rajchandraji, he wrote down this Atmasiddhi, and as we know from before, he made only 4 copies, and he says, don't give it to everybody. Only worthy souls, those who are worthy to accept this knowledge, only those people should read. So that way he made it. So now, without further delay, I'll bring the slides and we'll start from wherever we left out last time. Let's see, is this the one? Yes. Okay, so last time we saw, we are dissecting each and every word of this Atmasiddhi Shastra right now. So, Je Swarup Samjhavina Pamyo Dukhanan Samjhavita Padanamu Sri Sadguru Bhagavan. So, Je Swarup, we started with that word, and Je Swarup means the nature of the innate self, nature of a substance. What is the nature? What is the sugar's nature? To give sweetness. Wherever that sugar is, 100 years from now, 100 years in the back, 100 years in the future, right now, in the South America, North America, Asia, India, everywhere, sugar means sweetness. So that's its nature. Similarly, what is the nature of the soul and everything? That's what Srimadji asked us to understand that one. So he said the soul is a substance. If you just take the soul to the lab and just start dissecting and just try to find it out, what is the soul made up of? The soul has a substance, has an infinite attribute, and each attribute gives a mode, means modification at a given moment. As we said last time, this mode means, modification means, it's a change is occurring. Since morning till now, how many changes did I perceive in my day today? First thing in the morning, alarm goes on, and you don't want to get up, so you just go to the snooze, and then alarm again goes after 9 minutes, you go to snooze and whatever, then finally you become sick and tired of this listening to alarm. You wake up, just do your normal routine prarthana and worshipping, go to bathroom, toothbrushing, shower, breakfast, scriptural reading. Oh, so those are the changes. They are called modification. It's called mode, but it's called paryay. Gujarati word is paryay. So those are the things that is happening. That's called mode. So here we just saw it last time, that substance, 6 substances in the universe, and that means the one is a living, which is soul, non-living is matter, medium of motion, medium of race, space and time. Then we went through it in detail. Now, as time comes, we'll go through a lot more about matter, medium of motion, medium of race, space and time. Right now, we'll be concentrating on soul. Remember, what is my aim in the life? Out of all the substances in the universe, what is my aim in the life? My aim in the life is knowing all the substance, out of which most important substance is soul. That's what I would like to know. But at the same time, I should also know who are my enemies, who are not my friends. Let's put it that way. So we should know them also. But lot more time we are going to put it over here, less time on these guys. And as the scripture progresses, more things will unfold and we'll talk about all those things. So that means when I say substance, means I'm interested in the soul substance. Then we also went to this definition of anant and everything, so we'll bypass that one. And attributes are infinite in nature. As we say, souls are infinite, matter is infinite to square, time units infinite cube, space unit infinite raised to 4, and attributes in the soul are infinite raised to 5. This many attributes I have, and I keep on running in this world. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. What do I want? I'm looking like a beggar. There's a jail, and in the jail there are lots of criminals were housed there. One time the king was having birthday, so he became very happy, and he went to jail and says, hey, you know what? In the prison he went and said, hey, you guys ask for anything you want. It is my birthday, I'll give you. So some guy says, sir, look at this rotli. It is dry, there is no ghee on it. Okay, you'll get the ghee on the rotli. So look at the shirt and clothes we are given. They are all torn. Well, that time those prisoners didn't know that a torn pants will be called ripped pants and they will have a value, but whatever. So they are given new pants. So we don't get any hot water. Okay, you'll get a hot water. So, sir, we don't have soap. We'll get soap. So, food and this. One guy does not ask anything. King says, wait a second, you asked something. He says, no, whatever I want, you won't give it to me. No, but you asked for it. He says, I don't want all this garbage people are asking. I want to get out from here. Similarly, what am I doing? I'm asking for, my God, I may have a good, I wish I can get a good job. I can get a good admission to the university. I get a good job. I get a nice spouse. I get a nicer kids, and I have lots of money. And those are the things like those prisoners we are asking. Only smart kid says, I want to get out from here. So these are the infinite attributes I have. I have to look within. I am a billionaire, trillionaire. I am just infinite attribute within me. And I don't need any extra help from outside. In fact, if you look into the soul substance, soul has an innumerable space point, means certain number of space point, and has an infinite attributes living within. That means there is no extra room for anything else to enter. I want this thing, I want this thing, that cannot enter in your soul's boundary. So that's an attribute we talked about. And then we talked about, we just said that attributes are like not like a rice in a bag, but they are like if this white light is a soul substance, then attributes are ever intermingled. You cannot separate them out. If you take knowledge attribute out, all the infinite attribute will come out. Or if you take faith attribute out, which you cannot take it out, but in case if you just think about it. So they are integral part of the soul substance. Then the modes, we just saw it last time, they are like the waves, that they are just like waves coming and origination, disintegration, origin, disintegration. This kind of changes are occurring into the modes, and they are living for one samay. We'll define Sama in next 2-3 slides onwards, but right now they are coming in one Sama. In a blink of an eye, innumerable Sama units pass by. Definition of innumerable is given in the scripture. We don't have, it is not necessary that we should go through the detail, but in general, blink of an eye, there are innumerable Sama pass by. Means more than million, billion, trillion, quadrillion. Somewhere along the line, somewhere it says maybe 10 to the power of 29 or 10 to the power of 49. So huge number. Million is six digit, billion is 9 digits, trillion is 12 digits. We are talking 10 to the power of 29. Amazing amount of number. So that many Sama units pass by in blink of an eye, and each Sama there is one paryay, one change occurring in the soul substance. So now that we know soul substance, soul as an attribute, soul as a mode, so now Swarup means nature of a substance. J Swarup Samjya Vina, Swarup means nature of a substance. Substances, there are 6 substances in the universe, out of which soul is also a substance. And my important thing right now is to know the soul substance. So Srimadji over here says J Swarupa Samajavina. J Swarup means you know the soul substance. You know exact nature of the soul substance. You put your time there. Put your knowledge, make it sharp knowledge. Understand the real nitty-gritty and anatomy and physiology of this soul substance. Once you know it, then you appreciate the magnanimity of this soul substance. Having said that, now we are coming to the next word. J Swarup, we just saw it. Samajya vina pamyo dukhanan samajya vyute padanamu Sri Sadguru Bhagavan. Samajya vina means I did not understand the real nature of a soul substance. I did not understand. What does it mean by did not understand? It means, now we are looking at the word samajya vina. A teacher is present in the classroom. A teacher is present in the classroom. Teacher's job is without any prejudice to teach. The teacher's job is to teach without any prejudice towards anybody. So he just simply imparts the knowledge. It's the one who is smart enough picks up everything right away. One who is not so sharp guy, he just sits around and does nothing, fooling around. So teacher did not mean not to teach to that dull kid. She has an equal importance to all the students. So as a student, when I'm not ready, then I can't understand. It is not a practice in this country, but back home, we used to have those kind of things. In the sense, at the end of the year, teacher will do evaluation, and the dull student, they will say he failed. So he has to repeat the whole year again. It reminds me, I was in the 5th grade or 6th or 7th grade. We had one guy, he was kept on for the 1 year extra because he was not so smart. Bhagabhai Madhavbhai Solanki or something like that name was there. Because he is quote unquote experienced guy, so he was given class monitor. I said, I don't want to become monitor. I don't want to remain in the class for 2 years. I'd rather get out and go further up. Anyway, so if the student is not ready, he can't learn. But the student who is sharp, he will just understand very quick, very fast everything. You have the sponge in the kitchen. On the table, there's a water sprayed through or juice is sprayed through, spilled through. You take the sponge and sponge will absorb everything right away. So the student, when he's ready, then he will absorb everything what teacher is teaching. That's a classroom. Here also is a classroom, that when Sadguru, the experienced, enlightened, true teacher, who has experienced the soul substance, then he is explaining to me. But if I'm not ready, that's it, nothing happens. You must have seen that lotus flower in the water. Even though abundant water is around, no water is touching that flower, lotus flower. Similarly, when I'm not ready, it could be the perfect teacher in the form of an omniscient Lord, and he is giving sermons in the Samosaran assembly of preaching. I am standing there, sitting there, that's it, no effect on me. Just like water does not touch that lotus tree, similarly, no discourses are touching me because I'm not ready. Rishabdev Bhagwan, the very first Tirthankar of our 24 sets of Tirthankar for present time, he had 100 sons, including Bharat, who was a universal monarch called Chakravarti. All these Yusufdev's sons, they end up getting self-realization, and they all went to moksha. Bharat has a son called Marichi. He also took the Diksha. But to remain nakedness, to eat once a day and everything, and all those rituals and everything, he was not able to tolerate. So he gave up the monkhood. He put the clothes on. Outside the assembly of preaching, outside Samosaran, he's sitting there and telling everybody going in, hey, religion is here too and there too, so sit down here, I can teach you, even though he knew nothing. So, a student was not ready, Marichi was not ready, so nothing happened to him. And he has to spend millions and trillions and trillions and trillions of years, and finally he became Mahavir. So what is my readiness state? It says I should be ready, then and then I can understand everything. Teacher is always present. I have to be ready. So what is my readiness state? Means what? What could be my prerequisite? You guys are born and brought up here. You already know in the school and college, everything. There's already a prerequisite. You know, go to science, you have to have certain prerequisite or whatever. You know better than me. So, what is my prerequisite to understand the enlightened teacher's message? I have to become an eligible student. If I'm eligible, then I can get admission to certain school or college or whatever, or even job also. What is that eligibility? That eligibility is, Srimadji is writing in the 38th stanza of Atmasiddhi. He said, Kashayani upasantata matra moksha abhilas bhave kheda prani dayatya atmartha nivas. What he says there, to have the mildness of the toxic emotions, my anger, deceit, ego, greed they have to become very mild in nature. Think about it. Experience yourself. God forbid tomorrow you end up getting angry for whatever reason. Remember this. Try to recite Namoka Mantra at the time. I bet you won't be able to see complete 9 stanza properly. You will make mistake because your anger is so high. Your toxic emotions are so high that your knowledge gets blunted. Higher the toxic emotion, bluntness of the knowledge. Lower the toxic emotion, sharpness of the knowledge. There is an inverse proportionate relationship between the toxic emotion and the nature of the expression of the knowledge. You try to read something when you are upset and uptight and everything. You can't retain a single sentence what you read. So mildness of toxic emotions. How can I become my toxic emotion to become mild? There are tons and tons of, everybody can says, okay, how to reduce the anger, how to reduce the ego. Acharya Bhagavan says, Srimadji says, no, that's not true. You want to reduce your anger, deceit, ego, greed, likes, dislike, ignorance, all those things you want to reduce. They are the darkness. If I give you a room full of darkness for hundreds of years, and I said, remove the darkness, I give you one bucket, you just fill the darkness in a bucket and try to throw out, take the drum, do it, it won't be working out. But you said, Gosalia, you are crazy. You want to remove darkness. Why you are bringing bucket and all the things? Well, I want to remove darkness, so that's why I brought my equipment. No, sir, no. You don't understand. So what is to understand? Well, put the light on. But I said, I want to remove darkness. Put the light on. Remove the darkness. Remember, to remove the darkness, you ignore the darkness. Put the light on. If you put the light on, darkness automatically disappears. You don't have to do any effort to have the darkness go away. I want to reduce my toxic emotions of anger, deceit, ego, greed. Don't look at them. I give you a blackboard and a chalk stick, and I write down I put one straight line on it, and I say, without erasing that white line, make it smaller, without erasing. So what will you do? You are a smart kid. You just took the chalk stick, you put a longer line, bigger line in front, automatically that line becomes small. If you put the other system of increasing your knowledge about the soul substance, knowledge increases, toxic emotion starts decreasing. Automatic it happens. You don't need to make any extra effort. So these are the things that you don't need to go to the course, how to reduce my anger. Maybe I should start that business and I can get, but what is this? It's useless. The truth to be understood. As long as your true knowledge of the soul increases, toxic emotion starts coming down. Toxic emotions coming down, so knowledge increases. So it's an inverse proportionate relationship, and it's a vicious cycle. Increasing knowledge, decreasing toxic emotion, increasing knowledge about soul and everything. So those are the things we have to work on. I need to understand who am I. That's why Srimadji also said, હું કોણ છું ક્યાંથી થયો છું સ્વરૂપ છે મારું ખરું કોના સંબંધે વર્ગણા રાખું કે પરિહરું. He knew that you are going to ask that question. What about soul? What is the soul? Okay, હું કોણ છું? You try to find it out. Who am I? What's my true nature? What's my makeup? What's my function? You try to understand that. Toxic emotion has no place to hang around. So these are the things that we should. So mildness of toxic emotion will give you eligibility. Only wish for liberation. Only inclination for liberation. Means I'm transmigrating since time infinite again and again and again and again and again and again. I never feel tired. Now I'm tired. This life and death cycle, birth is a pain, death is a pain. In between also there's a lots of suffering is there. I want to get out of this vicious cycle. That kind of intense inclination coming from within. And having discussed over the worldly transmigration, I want to get liberated. And on the other side of the coin, I am just disgraced about this worldly transmigration. Compassion towards every living being. One time in summer, I went to one of my friend's place. He has a new house. He had built it on a mountain, and he is proudly showing all the places. A nice house. We came to patio, and there was some big bug. He goes into the house, brings his old shoe, and just hits. I mean, even if when I'm talking, it just gives me so chill passing through the spine. That day onwards, I have no relationship with him. He could be anything, but I don't care about it. If that kind of a cruelty he has towards a living being, that mountain is supposed to be living for those organisms. And here you are, killing that one intensely. No. So compassion towards every living being. And the fifth one in the 30th stanza, where Srimadji did not write, but Astha means faith. Faith in the messages given by omniscient Lord and enlightened true teachers and enlightened monks, etc. So these are the eligibility. If I have this eligibility, then I will be ready to accept Samyak Darshan. First, I have to know what it is. What am I looking for? We had an earlier class in Hindi. We are talking all these things. I said, any questions? Somebody said, how can I get this thing? How can I get experiencing of the soul? Means that kind of inquisitiveness, that kind of interest. When we have it, we are on the right path. When Srimadji wrote down this thing, 250 years back, Pandit Toramalji also wrote down similar thing in Mokshamat Prakashak, which is a very famous scripture that Pandit Toramalji wrote down. He also had a very short life. On the 7th chapter, there is one section comes, and in that section it says Samyak Sanmukh Mithya Drashti, means the wrong faith person who is facing the right knowledge and right faith right now. Means from time infinite, I am in the wrong faith right now. But now I understand, and instead of going deeper into the wrong faith state, now I take a U-turn and I just stand in front of the Samyak Darshan. So each step I'm taking now will be towards Samyak Darshan. There also he writes, Shayapsham Labdhi, Vishuddhi Labdhi, Deshna Labdhi, Pragik Labdhi, and Karan Labdhi. He shows 5 different increments on how to get right faith, in which very first thing he says, sharpness of knowledge and Vishuddhi Labdhi means your intensity of toxic emotion to be decreased. That's the same thing. Srimad is telling the same thing to us over here. So, 100 enlightened teachers will say the same thing. One wrong faith person will be talking from several different ways and he will not make any sense at all. So here we read to different scripture by different enlightened souls. Similar things will come out. So this is my eligibility. Now, this was given in Atmasiddhi stanza 38. So now this Samjavina means eligibility. Marichi was the grandson of Rishabdev, and he was not ready, he was not eligible, even though the supreme teacher, omniscient Lord in the form of the grandfather of Marichi are there, he's there. And Marichi was not ready. Marichi did not have eligibility. Marichi did not have his act together. And nothing happened. Same Marichi. Now he becomes a lion later on. And he's in a lion's life that he just had killed a deer. The meat is in the mouth and blood is in the mouth and everything. And at that time, two monks, extremely highly educated monks, they had the capacity to walk into this space. They are walking into the space and they saw this lion in the jungle and they say, wait a second, this guy is a future Mahavir. So they descend and they give discourses to the lion in lion's language because they have capacity. Lion realizes himself. He gets self-realization. Remember the same Marichi who was a human being and grandfather is an omniscient Lord. Nothing happened. And now instead of human being, he is an animal. And instead of a Rishabdev, the supreme teacher, they are monks only. This is the omniscient Lord. Instead of that, there are two monks. So lesser amount of instrumental cause, lesser amount of the life that he has it, but he is eligible right now. And he ends up getting Samyak Darshan. So if Samyak Darshan can occur to the lion from Mahavir, Samyak Darshan can occur to the elephant for Parasnath. Hey, we are human being, 5 cent sentient being. We can get it. We can get it. Have that faith, have that confidence, have that just determination, have that inquisitiveness, have that positivity. It will occur. It will occur. It doesn't make difference which area of the world you live, what language you speak. Lions did not know all these things, what we are talking. It's an inclination within the soul counts. Don't be afraid. Don't say, well, nothing is going to happen to me. You are inquisitive bunch of people. That at least you are in the class. Gurudev Sri Kanji Swami used to say that to marine a door thais, after death you'll become an animal. I remember this distinct, those sounds are ringing in my ears right now. I used to sit down and listen to those things. I said, what is he talking about? He wants me to die and become animal? What kind of guru is he? This was young kid. I had a question in my mind. After so many decades, I realized what he meant, what he said. Because you came to my class, my discourses. That's what Gurudev he meant. Because you came to this for the discourses, you came here. That means you are an eligible person. You have eligibility. That means your mild toxic emotion, only wish for liberation, having disgust, transmigration, compassion, all those things, samveg, nirved, astha, anukampa, these are the attributes you have cultivated within you. And because you have those cultivated those attributes, those qualities you cultivated, even if you die without doing much extra effort, at least you will not go to hell, you will not go to the lowest form of life, which is called nigod. Lowest form of life probably will be an animal, 5 sense sentient animal, which like lion or elephant, and in which from our scriptures we know that the lion has obtained samyak darshan, elephant has obtained samyak darshan. So even if I go without any personal effort, I end up going to the lowest form, I mean in the animal life, I still have a chance to get a right faith. That's what he meant. That's what amount of confidence he puts on us just by us sitting in his discourses. Just by sitting for the class, that you have that inquisitiveness, means you have that eligibility, means you will have definitely progress towards freedom from the karmic bondage. There's no doubt about it. Yes, it will happen. Have a faith, have a confidence. I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it. If not this life, maybe next life. But why wait next life? I'm going to make it this life only. Because just we saw in the previous slide, soul is a substance, soul is an attribute, soul is a mode. Soul as a substance is pure within me and pure in the Siddha Bhagwan also. Soul, a soul having infinite attributes, they are pure within me and pure in the Siddha Bhagwan also. Two are same, me and Siddha Bhagwan, us and Siddha Bhagwan. Third one is only problem, which is a mode, transient mode for one samay, one moment. In the Siddha Bhagwan is a pure one, I have an impure one. Only one samay. If I remove this samay over here, impurity for one samay, and generate purity, I am Siddha Bhagwan right now. Oh yeah, it's that easy? Yes, it's that easy. Acharya Bhagwan tells us, we will show you the easy thing also, but we will also tell you, you have to work a little hard. Yesterday was Mahavir Swami's omniscience important day. He obtained omniscience yesterday. That was the year that Vaisak Suddasam is a day when he obtained omniscience. To have that omniscience occur at the time, Mahavir has to do 12.5 years of intense meditative exercises. Rishabdev had to do 1,000 years of meditative exercise. It will take a little while for me, nothing to worry, but I'm on the right path. That kind of attitude I have to create. And yes, one time will come and I will remove the impure mode. I will have a pure mode, and that is called right faith. And once the right faith occurs, within very short time, one ends up getting liberation, means eternal blissful state. What's a blissful state means? I'm hungry. I'm getting a sweet food right now. I'm very happy. I'm thirsty. I'm getting a glass of cold water. I'm happy. But those happiness are transient. They live for a short time only. The food going to stomach 4 hours, it will give me kind of pleasure. The thirst will give me pleasure. Once the thirst is gone, when I become thirsty again, that pleasure is gone. But here, this eternal blissful state, supersensuous bliss, it's coming from within, will remain forever. Yes, I can make it. I can make. Samjavina, this is the word that it tells me that yes, it's my responsibility to start understanding, to start becoming eligible student. So these are the things I need to do it, and I will do it. Why not? So now the student has become ready. That means you are ready and I am ready. I'm the student also. You are the student. We are in the same boat. We all have to be ready. All right. So now, next one is coming. Pamyo dukha anand. Now, J Swarup, Samjavina. Now, Pamyo dukha anand. I obtain misery for time infinite. When I say obtain misery for time infinite, what is misery? First, we have to define dukh. What is dukh? Dukh is misery. How long do I have that misery? Since time infinite in the past. What is the misery I have it? Body is mine, body is mine, body is mine. That kind of attitude is my misery. What's wrong telling me body is mine? Because I'm the soul substance. I'm the conscious soul substance. And physical body is a non-conscious matter object. Association has occurred and I think it's me. Body is me. I am hungry. No, it's your body hungry. I am thirsty. Body is thirsty. I am pain. I'm suffering. Body is suffering. So now I have made a unity with that. Because of that unity that I put it in, that's why it gives me misery for time infinite. Let's go back. Let's go to another scripture called Chodhala. Chodhala is written by Pandit Daulat Ramji about 150 years back, 150 years back or something. First Dhala means chapter. So 6 chapters are there. And the first chapter entirely describes misery in 4 realms of existence. Human has misery, infernal living being has misery, subhumans have misery, and even the heavenly souls also have misery. Different types of misery. One with tons of money, he wants to have misery, or he's unhappy because he wants to take care of the money. One who doesn't have it, he wants to have it. So everybody has misery. So the heavenly souls also have misery of jealousy. Jealousy is an intense misery they have it. In spite of having everything, they have misery. So dukh, anand. Now word anand we have to define. Just we don't know that word anand. The countable number, million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, whatever numbers are countable number. Beyond that is called uncountable number, and beyond, way beyond, it's called infinite. Let's see this time little bit and see what it tries to tell us. So Anant word shows infinite time units. As we said, blink of an eye, innumerable time units pass by. It's called the lowest form of a time unit is called samay, S-A-M-A-Y, or you can call it a moment. We can just say fraction of moment. That's not the word here to be translated. This is called samay. You should get familiarized with this some of the words samay, and we will talk about the samay. We will look time from microscopic to macroscopic time, and we'll see how the time relates, how that infinite means to me. So we can just say samay, as I said. Now remember, I'm just giving just rough example. That blink of an eye, innumerable samay units pass by. But if you say, no, I want to know exact how that samay word derived, I can explain that too right now. But time is my essence. I need to finish this part. So as the time progresses, we will be having all those things at greater details coming. But don't worry about it. We will cover everything. So samay. Thereafter word comes nimesh. Then word comes kastha, comes kala, gadi, and muhurt. Now, these are the Indian words. What does it mean? Samay means very smallest part of a time unit is called samay, in which one samay means one modification occurring in the soul. Blink of an eye, my knowledge attribute had innumerable knowledge mode occurred and lots of knowing action occurred, which I'm not able to grab it because my knowledge is not that sharp to pick that one, all the changes. Innumerable samay, there is a typo where I is missing. Innumerable samay is called nimesh, or it may also call avli, A-A-V-L-I, and we'll come back to the word later on. 15 nimesh can make one kastha. 30 kastha makes one kala. Until now, it doesn't make any sense to you. It's just foreign words we are throwing at you. But 20 plus kala makes 24 minutes. So maybe this kala is almost like a 1 minute. Let's put it that way. One kala means almost like a 1 minute, and 20 plus kala means 24 minutes. Means it's called gadi. And muhurt means 2 gadi means 48 minutes. This is very important thing, that 48 minutes. If you understand anything about samayik, I don't know if you have done samayik anytime in your life, means it is meant for 48 minutes. Even our classrooms are also going for 45 minutes to 45 minutes. Classrooms are there. More than that, the attention focus is not there. 48 minutes is so important. We'll come back to that word later on. But before that, I would like to have this another word come, intra-Indian hour, which is called antar muhurt. Antar muhurt. And that antar muhurt word, this is called muhurt. Muhurt and antar, A-N-T-E-A-N-T-A-N-T-A-R, antar muhurt. What is that intra-Indian hour? Means minimal time units of nimesh on one side and muhurt minus 1 samay. If you take that whole thing together, sorry. What did I do here? Hold it. Try to do something and disappear from me. Okay, so minimal nimesh and maximum muhurt minus 1 samay. That much amount of time. Minimal is called avli or nimesh, and maximum is called muhurt minus 1 samay. That whole gap of time is called antar muhurt. Now, importance of that antar muhurt is, and this word will come quite often in the future also, so be attentive. When one obtains samyak darshan for the first time, right faith for the first time, then the experiencing of the soul substance is just like that, comes and goes away. And that is called antar muhurt, because it just occurred over here and disappeared. Gradually, that soul tries to do intense personal effort and intensifies his time to experience little bit longer, little bit longer, little bit longer. And when he is finishing 48 minutes, then that monk goes from 7 spiritual state to omniscient state. That's why this antar muhurt and muhurt sabda and the words are important. These are the, if you don't remember, it's okay, then nothing to worry about it. Now we go further up. We just understand about 48 minutes. Now here, ahoratra, mas, rutu, ayan, varsh, palyopam, sagrop, that different words are there. So now we are going to define each word. Ahor. Where am I here right now? Just a second. Okay. I end up with the Hindi slides also, so because my Hindi slides were next to each other. Okay. So ahoratra, then mas, rutu, ayan, vars, palyopam, sagropam, panchparavartan. So that means ahoratra means 30 muhurt means 1 day, 24 hours. One muhurt lasts for 48 minutes, 30 muhurt lasts for 24 hours, and 24 hours is called ahoratra, or it's called 1 day. Mas means month, means 30 ahoratra makes 1 month, then 2 months makes 1 rutu, 3 ayans makes 2 months makes 2 months make ayan, 3 ayan makes 1 wash, and 2 ayan makes 1. And so these are the things divided in a whole year, that until wash means year. How we come to the year from day to the year, these are the months and everything, months and changing seasons and everything. Now we are going somewhat deeper. It's called palyopam years. What is palyopam years? Palyopam years means it's a huge number beyond our intellect to grab about it, but it tries to explain, Acharya Bhagavan tries to explain to us that if you dig a ditch of 4 mile long, wide and deep ditch, and just in that deep ditch, the newly born sheep's hair, silky hair, cut it out into small pieces that you can make 2 pieces, and fill it up the whole ditch completely, so much that the chariot of the king passing and nothing happens, then no sinking occurs. That tightly packed thing that you do in this ditch, and every 100 years you take 1 hair out. I think some of you are computer guys. Find it out how many zeros will be there on 1, and that is called palyopam year. By the time you finish all the hair removed from there, it's called 1 palyopam years. So now you can imagine what is that huge number means. So we are not done yet. Palyopam years, 10 to the power of 14 palyopam years is called 1 sagropam year. 10 to the power of 14 palyopam year is called 1 sagropam year. And 10 to the power of 14 sagropam is called Krodi sagropam years. Bear with me, we are not done yet. Now that as those 1 Krodi sagropam means 1 10 to the power of 14 Sagropam years, Rishabdev was born at the time. Almost 1 crore crore Sagropam years back. Sagropam raised to 14 years. Mahaswami was 2500 years back. Now, when you go to the Panch Paravartan, it's so many innumerable Sagropam years are included in a Panch Paravartan. Now, I'm not going to go, Panch means five types of 5 phase of time cycle. I'm not going to go in detail, except I'm just going to give you one information about substance time phase. Means dravya paravartan. What does it mean? Now, in infinite amount of material particles in the universe. Now, let's see. I am as a human being here. I have so many particles, they make my human body right now. Out of infinite times infinite particle in the universe, I have so much particles are making my human body. Now, exact same amount of particle again in the future, in a human life when I will get it. Exact. Then it's called one paravartan, one substance paravartan, which is infinite, innumerable Sagropam years will be there. And in this Panch Paravartan, I have done infinite such Panch Paravartan. That means I am existing forever and ever and ever and ever. Human life is extremely rare to get it, but I have got infinite times human life. I have infinite times I have gone to the Samosthanam of the Tirthankar Bhagwan, and I have not woke up. Time has come now for me to wake up. If I do it, all this thing has no value, because I'll be going to the liberation point. I'll have a super senses bliss forever. We'll stop over here. Time is up already, but I'm just going to give a few minutes of whatever time we may have. Any questions that you have, that we can entertain this question. Go ahead, please. You can unmute yourself and ask questions.
Uncle, you said that Rishabdev Swami was alive how many Sagropam?
10 to the power of 14 Sagropam years before he was there.
Okay.
And we just say he was just there, as if it happened yesterday. Now you can because in comparison to Panch Paravartan, this is nothing. But coming to the Varsh, months means year, this is a huge number. It's difficult to fathom in our limited time and limited knowledge capacity. So you can just say that people say that Rishabdev Bhagwan went to Nirvana from Kailas, Mount Kailas, which is in Tibet right now. And people go there to look for his Nirvana place. Come on. If I come to Los Angeles after 5-10 years, I see everything change. Now we are talking zillions and zillions and zillions of years before. Even something is waiting for me? No, it's not possible. But people say, oh, I went there and I saw this place, I saw that place. People keep on speaking, but it has no value. Any other questions? Yes. Okay. All right. If there is no question, then we may stop over here, and we will just do the closing. Okay. જે સ્વરૂપ સમજ્યા વિના પામ્યો દુઃખ અનંત સમજાવ્યું તે પદ નમો શ્રી સદગુરુ ભગવન પરમ પુરુષ પ્રભુ સદગુરુ પરમ જ્ઞાન સુખદામ જેણે આપ્યું ભાનની તેને સદા પ્રણામ દેહ છતાં જેની દશા વર્તે દેહાતી તે જ્ઞાનીના ચરણમાં હો વંદન અગણિત આ જ્ઞાનીના ચરણમાં હો વંદન અગણિત હે પરમ કૃપાળુ દેવ જન્મ જરા મરણાદિ સર્વ દુઃખોનો અત્યંત સહી કરાવવા હોય ત્રાગ પુરુષનો મૂળ માર્ગ આપશે મને અને કૃપા કરી મને આપ્યો તે અને કૃપાનો પ્રતિકાર હું સર્વથા અસમર્થ છું વળી આપ શ્રીમદ કંઈ પણ લેવા માટે સર્વથા નિષ્ઠુર છું જેથી હું મન વચન કાળની એકાગ્રતાથી આપના ચરણ વિનમાં નમસ્કાર કરું છું આપની પરમ ભક્તિ અને વિતરાગ પુરુષના મૂળ ધર્મની ઉપાસના મારા હૃદય વિશે ભવ પર્યંત અખંડ જાગ્રત રહો એટલું જ માંગીએ છીએ તે સફળ ઓમ શાંતિ 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 જય જિનેન્દ્ર મિચ્છામિ દુક્કડમ
Hey, Jinendra uncle. Thank you.
Jai Jinendra uncle, thank you.
Jai Jinendra.
Bye. Jai Jinendra. Bye.
Jai Jinendra. Thanks, Kirit uncle.
Thank you.